Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Satish Kumar, working as a scientist at Dairy Technology Division, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. Today I am going to talk about the developments in formulated and fabricated foods from paper Advances in Food Science and Technology. According to Glicksman, 1971, formulated foods are defined as foods that are designed and built according to the plan from individual components to yield products having specified physical, chemical and functional properties. The learning objectives of this lecture are: there are three major learning objectives: to understand the concept of formulated foods. Secondly, the advances or recent trends in the formulated foods. Under this, there are two sub-major objectives. One is the fat replacement in the food and target delivery in the foods. And lastly, future perspectives of formulated foods. The word fabricate largely means to create or to invent, and on the other hand, the word formulate means to create or prepare methodologically or systematically. Although both the words convey the same meaning, the latter one has better edge as far as food is concerned. So, hereafter we discuss this topic under the head formulated foods. The concept of formulated food is not new. It is as old as generation of bread. Bread as such does not exist in nature. It was created to have desired texture, shape, flavor from wheat and other additives. Likewise, other well-known age-old formulated food is an ice cream. It is also not exist in nature. It is also created to have specific structure, to have specific body, to have specific mouthfeel. Later on, designing of formulated foods aim at developing meat analogs, dairy analogs, baked foods, convenience foods, snack foods, geriatric foods and low calorie foods. And even today the formulated foods are designed to remove the cholesterol from the food and also to remove the sodium from the food so as to have low cholesterol food and low sodium foods. Largely aimed at designing healthy foods or functional foods. Dear students, let us look at the examples of fabricated foods. As we already mentioned, our old age foods like ice cream and bread, meat analogs, dairy analogs, baked foods, convenience foods, snack foods, geriatric foods, low calorie foods, low fat foods and low sodium foods. Formulated food is a multi-dimensional field in the food science and technology. However, efforts are focused mainly towards developing health foods in recent time. This chapter majorly discusses the recent developments in formulating health foods. Under health foods, the fat replacement with protein or polysaccharide source without compromising its sensorial, functional and textural properties has taken to higher heights with suitable hydrocolloids and microparticulated proteins. Another recent runner or another front runner in recent time is designing food structure for targeted delivery. According to American Heart Association, fat in the diet should contribute less than or equal to 30% of total caloric requirement of the day. Fat from meat, poultry, fish, milk products, fats and oils supply around 84% of the fat in our diets. Because of greater prevalence of diet related diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, nowadays the need to alter dietary pattern through selection of non-fat and low-fat products has gained lot of importance. Apart from non-fat or low-fat products, a range of products in which part of fat has been replaced are also available in the market. Fat replacer comes into picture in an attempt to reduce the total dietary fat and calorie intake, and the market for fat replacer is expected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of around 6% between 2011 to 2015. Fat replacers are the substances that can provide some functional and sensory properties of fats in food and at the expense of fewer calories. They have been tried in variety of fat-rich foods and beverages. These can be categorized as fat substitutes and fat mimetics. They are chosen on the basis of functionality required in the final product. Fat substitutes are fat-based replacers and can replace fat on weight by weight basis and thus reduce the total fat and calories in the product, whereas fat mimetics provide functional properties of fat at the expense of less calories. Since they are derived from carbohydrate and protein sources, they provide fewer calories, like less than 4 kilocalorie per gram or 4 kilocalorie per gram, as compared to the fat and fat derived products, which is 9 kilocalorie per gram. Fat replacers are the substances that can provide some functional and sensory properties of fats in food and at the expense of fewer calories. They have been tried in variety of fat-rich foods and beverages. These can be categorized as fat substitutes and fat mimetics. They are chosen on the basis of functionality required in the final product. Fat substitutes are fat-based replacers and can replace fat on weight by weight basis and thus reduce the total fat and calories in the product, whereas fat mimetics provide functional properties of fat at the expense of less calories. Since they are derived from carbohydrate and protein sources, they provide fewer calories, like less than 4 kilocalorie per gram or 4 kilocalorie per gram, as compared to the fat and fat derived products, which is 9 kilocalorie per gram. Carbohydrate based fat replacers work by forming a gel like structure and thus improves the moisture retention of the product in which it is added. This type of structure is responsible for endowing lubrication and flow properties similar to fat. They are suitable for baking but not for frying. Protein based fat replacers are usually microparticulated protein molecules responsible for smoother and creamier texture of the product. These replacers work by absorbing or binding water and increasing the viscosity and stabilizing the structure of the product. They are usually obtained from milk, egg white and cereal proteins like corn proteins. They are not suitable for frying and only few can be utilized during baking. If you look at various fat replacers available, carbohydrate based fat replacer, we will talk about a couple of carbohydrate based replacers and their brand names and their application. If you look at the table, the first one is the cellulose and its brand name is Avicel, cellulose gel, Methocel, Solca flac, and their applications are mainly in dairy type products, sauces, frozen desserts and salad dressings. Second one under the carbohydrate based fat replacer is dextrins. Brand names are Amylum, N-oil, and applications are salad dressings, puddings, spreads, dairy type products and frozen desserts. And third one under carbohydrate based fat replacer is fiber. Brand names are Apta, Oat Fiber, Snow White, Ultracell, Z-Trim. Applications include baked goods, meats, spreads, extruded products. And next one is gums. Brand names are Kelcogel, Keltrol, Splendid. Applications include reduced calorie and fat free salad dressings, other formulated foods including desserts and processed meats. Other carbohydrate based fat replacer is inulin, which is widely used. Brand names include Raftaline, Frutafit, Fibrulin. And major applications are yogurt, cheese, frozen desserts, baked goods, icings, fillings, whipped cream, dairy products, fiber supplementation, processed meats, etc. The next one is maltodextrins. There are several brand names available for maltodextrins like Crystalline, Lorelite, Lycodex, Maltrin, Facili, D-Lite, Facili XL, Facili SA2, Star Dry. Applications include baked goods, dairy products, salad dressings, spreads, sauces, frostings, fillings, processed meat, frozen dessert, extruded products and beverages. Then other one under the carbohydrate based fat replacer is Oya Trim, that is hydrolyzed oat flour. Brand name is Beta Trim, Trim Choice, and applications are baked goods, fillings and frostings, frozen desserts, dairy beverages, cheese, salad dressings, processed meat and confections. Polydextrose is another carbohydrate based fat replacer available under the brand name Litasay, Starlight. Applications include baked goods, chewing gums, confections, salad dressings, frozen dairy desserts, gelatins, puddings. Polyols are another group of carbohydrate based fat replacers, and many brands are available for polyols like sorbitol and maltitol. Reduced fat, it actually reduces fat and fat free products. Major applications include the chewing gums, beverages. Next class of carbohydrate based replacers are starch and modified starches. You can see the several manufacturers for these. Applications include processed meats, salad dressings, baked goods, fillings, frosting, sauces, condiments, frozen desserts and dairy applications. Now come to the protein based fat replacers. Microparticulated whey protein is widely used protein based fat replacer. It is available under the brand name Simplace. Applications include dairy products like ice cream, butter, sour cream, cheese, yogurt, in salad dressings, in margarines, mayonnaise type products, baked goods, coffee creamer, soups and sauces. And there is another modified whey protein concentrate. It's available under the brand name Dairy Low. It is also used in dairy products and baked goods, frosting, salad dressings, mayonnaise type products. And other protein based fat replacers are also available in the under the brand name of K Blazer, Ultra Bake, Ultra Freeze and used in frozen desserts as well as in baked goods. However, there are couple of concerns about the use of fat replacers. They are usually it has been complemented in high sugar products to mask the textural abnormalities occurring because of low fat. Hence, it must be ensured by consumers that the product they have chosen is having low calories apart from substituted fat. Although these fat replacers can help forming desirable diet pattern by reducing the total fat intake, but still research is on its effects on health when taken in large amounts need to be evaluated. Also, the information on cumulative impact of using fat substitutes in multiple food products and their potential interaction with medications and food ingredients is need to be addressed. Now we will move on to designing food structure for better nutrition and better health products. The focus behind designing food structure is to improve nutrition and health giving properties of the products. Structural design of foods for specific functionalities in the stomach has mainly been focusing on two areas. One is the encapsulation and controlled release, and second one is appetite control or improving satiety without importing calories. Food structures have been designed to form foods providing satiety or feeling of gastric fullness. It has been established through various researchers that modifying the structure of food can help alter not only its functional and sensorial aspect but can also modulate its digestion in the gut and also the bioavailability of the bioactive substance it is carrying. The main role of encapsulating structure with regards to the human stomach is to protect its encapsulated material such that it is delivered at the maximum absorption site, that is the small intestine. Alginate has been proved as excellent candidate for encapsulation matrix. It will create gel networks under highly acidic conditions, that is if the pH is around 2 or lower, and it will tend to shrink, creating highly insoluble structure. The encapsulated material will be shielded from the exposure to the potentially destructive stomach conditions, that is highly acidic conditions. Subsequent transport to small intestine where neutralization of previously low pH conditions occurs, and it will result in the breakdown of alginate encapsulant and the eventual release of the bioactive component. The rheological properties of the chyme, that is mixture of gastric juice and food, are crucial in determining motility and transit time. Delay in gastric emptying and nutrient absorption were reported with increase in chyme viscosity. Soluble dietary fiber and hydrocolloids play a major role in controlling the viscosity of chyme. A few studies have also suggested that water-soluble fiber such as guar, cellulose or pectin decreases the reabsorption of bile and so lowers the cholesterol level. In addition to slowing down carbohydrate digestion, it is argued to be as a result of the viscosity of these fibers which slows the mixing process. Many nutraceutical and functional food components would benefit from being encapsulated in appropriate edible delivery systems, including vitamins, bioactive peptides, antimicrobials, antioxidants, flavors, colors, minerals, phytonutrients, and preservatives. These active ingredients are classified as either lipophilic or hydrophilic based on their solubility to develop appropriate delivery systems. There is a growing need of incorporation of such bioactives in functional foods, but this poses several challenges for the researchers because of physical and chemical instability when extracted from its source. Due to its instability when incorporated in a food matrix, it is difficult to maintain its bioactivity or effectiveness throughout processing, storage, transport and consumption. Bioactivity of components could be maintained using appropriate delivery systems to which properties such as solubility, polarity, charge of the bioactive component are compatible. Thus, for selection of appropriate delivery systems, quantitative structure function relationship between properties of the bioactives, that is polarity or charge, composition and other surface properties, and the functionality of the delivery systems can be used as a guide. Let us look at the lipophilic components which can be encapsulated in suitable soluble media, that is oil, like fatty acids, carotenoids, antioxidants, phytosterols, all are better soluble in oil media. So when you are designing micro encapsulation or nano encapsulation, you have to use suitable soluble media based on the active components, and the benefits of these active components are also given in the table. The majorly coronary heart disease, bone health, immune response disorder, weight gain, and to prevent strokes, to improve mental health, to prevent cancer, etc. Next class of active components are hydrophilic components. They dissolve and soluble in water or aqueous media such as peptides, minerals, phenolic compounds. Peptides include casinophosphopeptides and bioactive peptides. Under the minerals, major ones are iron, calcium, selenium, and recently zinc also. Phenolic compounds such as anthocyanins, flavonoids, catechins, isoflavones, and quercetin were also encapsulated majorly to fight against oxidative damage and to improve the bone health and also to avoid iodine metabolism. Multiple emulsions, multilayered emulsions, and solid lipid particle emulsions are gaining popularity in the recent time under targeted delivery vehicles. And recently, hydrogel based macro spheres were also designed to deliver the bioactive components. All these vehicles allows the substance to be released at controlled rate at the desired location. The bioavailability of the bioactive components can be increased by varying the composition and modifying the structure and particle size of the matrix. Come to the multiple emulsions. Multiple emulsions are the emulsions in which the dispersed phase itself is an emulsion present in fine droplets. There are two major multiple emulsions or double emulsions. One is oil in water, oil emulsion. We shortly call it as OWO emulsion. And the second one is the water in oil water emulsion, and we shortly call it as WOW emulsion. A number of methods can be employed to formulate a double emulsion. These methods are broadly divided into two categories. Number one is using eye shear devices, and the second one is using membrane emulsification. Eye shear devices used for double emulsion preparation includes ultrasonicator, eye pressure homogenizer, eye shear mixer, and microfluidizer. In the eye pressure homogenizer, the pressure in the tune of 20,000 to 30,000 psi are going to employed to produce the double emulsion, whereas in ultrasonicator the speed matters and the speed delivers the smaller size particles, where the speed could be around 20,000 rpm or roughly. So this degree of shear produced by eye shear devices dictates the stability of double emulsions. Eye shear devices required for formation of primary emulsion, while a low shear rate is required for dispersion of primary emulsion into the secondary emulsion. To avoid breaking of double emulsion structure, we need to keep low speed or low shear during the formation of secondary emulsion. On the other hand, membrane emulsification system employs low shear stress but provide larger stability to the emulsion against the coalescence, and it helps to form narrow particle size distribution vis-a-vis the other eye shear devices. Particle size in the double emulsion or multiple emulsion is a crucial parameter in deciding its application, and as far as the suitability of delivery systems is concerned, nano sized particles are more suited for delivery of bioactive components into the human digestion system. This is schematic flow diagram for the preparation of oil or water in oil water double emulsion preparation. Here we use two solvents, one is oil and another one is water. To prepare water in oil emulsion, water is added into the oil to prepare the primary water in oil emulsion, and this primary emulsion is subsequently dispersed in the outer aqueous phase. Thus it forms a water in oil water double emulsion. Suitable surfactants are added to improve the miscibility or to improve the stability of the double emulsions, and stabilizers are also added in the double emulsions to enhance the stability of the double emulsion. Let us look at constituents of water in oil water double emulsion matrix. First we take in the beaker the water phase. and into the water, this water phase is added into the oil phase, which is marked in yellow shade, and using eye shear devices such as ultraterex or microfluidizer or sonicator, we create a primary emulsion, that is water in oil emulsion. The next step is dispersing this water in oil emulsion into the outer aqueous phase or water phase, that is again shaded in blue. With again eye shear devices are used, but higher rate, higher speed or low pressure is used for creation of secondary emulsion, so as to avoid breakdown of primary emulsion structure. The stability and functional performance of conventional oil in water emulsions can be greatly improved by coating the droplets of nano laminated interfacial layers formed using the layer by layer electrostatic deposition method. This is called multi-layered emulsion. The layer by layer electrostatic deposition methods begins with adsorption of a charged polyelectrolyte onto an oppositely charged surface through an electrostatic attraction. A charged emulsifier that rapidly adsorbs onto the surface of oil droplets during homogenation is used to produce a primary emulsion containing small droplets. Then an oppositely charged polyelectrolyte is added to the system that adsorbs to the droplet surface and produces a secondary emulsion containing droplets coated with two-layer interface. This procedure can be repeated to form oil droplets coated by interfaces containing three or more layers. The lipophilic functional component could be incorporated into the oil phase prior to homogenation, whereas hydrophilic ionic functional component could be used to make one of the layers surrounding the oil droplets. As you see in the picture, the oil phase and water phase is taken together and it is added with emulsifier and subjected to homogenization. After homogenation, the primary emulsion is formed, like the oil droplet is surrounded by the aqueous phase and oil is present as a dispersed media in the continuous phase of aqueous phase, and to this primary emulsion the biopolymer is added and it gives charge over the emulsifier and creates one more layer over a emulsifier, that is called secondary emulsion or two-layer emulsion. Further, another biopolymer is added and emulsion is prepared that has three layers. Each layer is separated by separate charges, that is called tertiary emulsion. Next type emulsions are solid lipid particle emulsions. Solid lipid particle emulsions consist of emulsifier coated onto the surface of solid lipid, and these solid lipid particles dispersed in aqueous continuous phase, and these emulsions were developed to overcome the physical instability phenomenons. There are two kinds of physical instability phenomenons. One is the coalescence, that is the merging of two or more smaller droplet to form a larger one, and another instability phenomena is the Ostwald ripening phenomena. In this the growth of larger droplets happens at the expense of smaller ones. These instability mechanisms lead to the irreversible droplet growth, which may eventually result in accelerated creaming, oiling of phase separation. By crystallizing the lipid phase, it is often possible to control the physical location of lipophilic component and to slow down the molecular diffusion process, thereby increasing the stability of chemically labile components in the solid lipid particle emulsion. Come to the hydrogel macrospheres is another type of delivery system. This preparation method involves inducing electrostatic compatibility around hydrophobic molecule, that is lipophilic functional ingredient, or that is dissolved in oil phase, at a pH where biopolymers have similar charges, say example pH 7, then adjusting the pH to a value where biopolymers have opposite charge, example say at pH 4.5, to induce co-adsorption. These hydrogel particles were then cross-linked by adding a solution of transglutaminase enzyme for cross-linking of protein. Low methoxypectin has a higher ionic charge density than high methoxypectin, and it may be therefore used, or it is possible that it binds casein coated droplets more strongly and incorporates them into the hydrogel particles more effectively. Higher fraction of lipid droplets within the casein rich hydrogel particles may lead to better protection against oxidation. If we look at this picture as explained in the previous slide, we take oil at the pH of 7, and also the casein have the interaction with hydrophobic groups of the casein with oil, since it, and also establishes hydrophobic bond between oil and the casein at pH 7. And if you reduce the pH from 7 to 4.5, another biopolymer like pectin will have interaction with this casein and forms a hydrogel. Dear students, if you look at the future perspectives of formulated foods, they will be designed mostly to provide specific performance in the gastrointestinal tract, for example binding or targeted release. Foods are required to address the following mechanism in the GIT. The mechanisms such as pressure controlled structural breakdown or release, time release structures that match the breakdown rate for the transit time in the human GI tract, osmotically controlled structures, polysaccharide based structures using non-starch polysaccharides that are fermented so as to trigger the breakdown and release, bioadhesive systems for specific binding to parts of the intestinal wall, structures with controlled swelling or dehydration properties to act as cleaning agents in the GI tract. Dear students, now I am going to conclude this topic. The formulated foods are the need of the day, and the market is growing continuously, and these are driven by several key factors. One is our change in food habits and the change in food style and the lifestyle, and more indulgence food products that are coming into the market, and convenience products. These are the key factors which are responsible for growing in the research and developments in formulated foods. Formulated foods are the need of the era to create condition specific health foods. Conditions related to our physiological conditions, maybe the persons who is suffering from diabetes will have particular or condition specified foods for diabetes 2 type 2, and specifically for cardiovascular health, and specifically for other any physiological conditions which are required. The foods can be formulated or created according to the specific needs of the human body. The basic understanding of human digestion system is therefore a must and prerequisite before creating the formulated foods. The time is not too far to use food as only option to keep our good health and cure physiological disorders specifically related to human metabolism. Thank you.